Hey everybody, it's Andy, aka Max Writer. We are back with another author showcase. This is my 20th submission to the Miskatonic Repository called The Schoolmarm's Ghost. If you have an interest in this, you can find it on DriveThruRPG. There'll be a link in the description below. And I'm just going to quickly go through the scenario. So if you have the desire, you can get a look at the product before you purchase it. Right now it's available as a PDF from DriveThruRPG. It went up on April 2nd. And it's called The Schoolmarm's Ghost. This is a Down Darker Trails scenario, but you don't really need Down Darker Trails in order to play it. We've got our cover here. And then here's the art that the cover came from. Here's a list of the other things that I've done. And then we've got our cover page and our boilerplate for The Schoolmarm's Ghost. Next, there's a picture of Lovecraft. A little quote here from Wuthering Heights as it plays a tiny bit of a part in the scenario. And special thanks to my playtester, Josie Campbell. This is a one-on-one, one keeper, one player scenario to introduce a new player to Call of Cthulhu. And that's how I've set it all up. Next, we've got our table of contents. And then a forward talking about seances and talking boards or witch boards. Or Ouija boards, and then we're into the scenario itself. I gave it a cute alternate title of What Comes Around, Ghosts Around. It's obviously a ghost story. We've got our introduction. Keeper information is fairly extensive to tell everything that has happened before the investigator arrives, and then some player information on why the investigator is going to Independence, Oregon, and what the reasons are there. There's 2 pages here of adapting the scenario for Cthulhu Invictus, Cthulhu Dark Ages, Regency, Cthulhu by Gaslight, Jazz Age, and then Modern Call of Cthulhu. Our dramatis personae are next. You got the residents of the Village of Independence, some of the more important ones. Then I discussed the locale, which is in Oregon, in Grant County, and a couple of the surrounding towns, Canyon City, John Day City, and Independence. We talk a little bit about here, and then some of the other locations that are on the map that you'll see in just a moment. The scenario itself begins on page 15, I guess, as far as like non-background information, with arrival at Independence, possible ally here, and entering the town and what one sees, and then the lawyer who the investigator has to deal with, as well as a copy of a handout. Oh, there's another copy of another handout here. This is another regular print copy of one of the handouts in the back. Eleanor Hamilton is the victim. Going to her house. We've got some background information from the lawyer, and then what happens when you get there, as well as a layout of the house and all the various locations. Another handout is duplicated here. That goes all the way up to the top and deals with the cellar as well. There you do find Wuthering Heights in the house, bookmarked on chapter 3, amongst other books. There is a quick down and dirty, here's what's in chapter 3 in case the investigator wishes to explore it. Then we're into hauntings. The whole thing's a ghost story, so there's going to be hauntings. There's places that the ghost might show up: in Eleanor's house, in the schoolhouse ruins, or the graveyard, as well as elsewhere in the village. Here's a little information on if you make an occult roll, what you might know about ghosts. As it's a one-on-one scenario, I've also included some advice on using the summary bouts of madness instead of the real-time bouts of madness. Then there's a list of other potential haunting events the keeper can throw at the player, as well as an idea about how to communicate with the ghost using the command ghost spell, or the summon spirit as it's called in the scenario. The next section is the investigation. There's more details on the Village of Independence and the people that are there, some of the things they might tell you, as well as what you might find at the burned schoolhouse and in the graveyard. There is also the opportunity to go down to the county seat if the investigator wishes to find out some information there at Canyon City. And finally, a few rumors that can be thrown in, some of which are true, some of which are false, about this woman and what's going on in the town. Next, we are at the conclusion. The scenario is mainly open-ended, so it ends on however the player makes it, or however the player wants it to kind of end, or however they act is going to determine the end. There are a few important clues, as well as a few clues that are not really admissible to pin guilt on anyone, but are there to say something's wrong here. I give a little advice on what the investigator might do to take action, and then there is a section here with what might happen if the player does not take action. Resolving the haunting just says how things kind of turn out. Then you got your sanity rewards, bibliography, and the afterward playtest notes talks about how it went when I ran it for Josie. Independence inhabitants are stats for the people who are in the village. Esoteric tomes, we've got 3 esoteric tomes here, 2 of which appear in here. The third one I found and decided just to write it up. The Demonala Tre Libra Tres, which appears in, what does it appear in? The Dunwich Horror, it's mentioned in the Dunwich Horror. Marvels of Science, which appears in H.P. Lovecraft's The Festival, and Ambrose Bierce's The Man and the Snake. And Seducimus Triumphatus, which also appeared in The Festival by H.P. Lovecraft. So these 3 Mythos tomes, 2 of them are in the scenario. The third can easily be added if the keeper so desires. Then we're into maps. So this map of Oregon is really small. It's really hard to read anything on it. But in addition to the PDF, when you purchase this product, you will also get a PDF of a large copy version, like 4,000 pixels on a side, of this map of Oregon from 1877. 1876, from 1876, which is close enough. Then we got a close-up of Grant County, of the entire county, because it runs from like the middle of the state all the way to the bottom, which is crazy. So Grant County starts here and goes all the way down to the middle of the state at this time. All the action takes place right up here in the northeast corner of the state. And then there's a zoom in of the section where everything takes place. Then you've got a simple map of Independence, Oregon. Nothing much is listed on it. But on the next page, you've got a map for the players once they know what's where that you can hand out. And finally, of course, there's a keeper's map, which is not terribly different. There's not a whole lot of secrets in this. Next, you've got a player map of Eleanor Hamilton's house, the main house that you're investigating. And then you've got the keeper map of the same thing. There is a significant difference in part of that map. And finally, we're into handouts. The initial letter, handout 1. Then you've got a newspaper article for handout 2 and another note for handout 3. The residents of Independence, Oregon are here. So at a glance, you can tell who lives where. A little piece of old Lovecraftian art. Blown up pictures of all the NPCs and your pre-gen, as well as a larger picture of Eleanor Hamilton's house. A picture that is in the foyer of said house. And then more detailed information on the pre-generated investigator. My player decided to pick somebody real for her character, and so that gave her a lot of built-in history, and so she worked upon that, which I thought was a really neat idea, and it really got her kind of doing research for her character, which I really liked. Character sheet for the pre-gen, Isabella Eldridge, front and back. Then you've got the back cover image, a little bit about the author blurb, and I'm starting to leave a couple blank pages around the back page of the and front pages of the scenario. On the off chance that this ever sells enough for me to actually make it into a print on demand, I think that's going to make things easier. The total page count for the scenario is 52 pages. Total page count with covers and such is 58 pages, I believe. So yeah, there you have it. There's the Schoolmarm's Ghost. It is on sale at DriveThruRPG right now. So if you're interested, check it out. Again, the link is in the description below. It is a short scenario. It took us 5 hours to play, but you could easily trim it. I let my players take their time. And so if you have an interest in Down Darker Trails or a one-on-one scenario, check it out. At least take a peek at it. Thanks for watching, everybody. As always, I appreciate it, and I will talk to y'all next time.